You are now locked into the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Here is your host, Brandon Blakeney.
I thought we won a game over a 40-minute period. I thought, our defense, our help defense, our ability to scramble out of situations, to recover. I know we didn't put a whole lot of points on the scoreboard, but I was really pleased with our defensive effort and our ability to just smother them at times. And I thought we opened the game up in the second half, and we knew there was another run coming. We just had to, it's young. Like it's so like this is a great game to play, but it also reveals some of your weaknesses, and we know of them because we play this type of game. Like you can beat somebody by 50 points, and you can pay for guarantee games, but you can't pay for the lessons that you put your players through, and they learn. I mean, I'm walking in here talking to Malaysia. Like, she is an incredible gift to the game, but at the same time, she does some things out there that it makes you scratch your head, but it's all learning. Like she can't learn that being up by 50. She can learn some great things and how to navigate and decrease the amount of, momentum changers, shots that she takes, good and bad. But I mean, I love the fact that's why we put the schedule together the way that we did, is because we want to challenge ourselves. We don't, and maybe it'll end up in a loss somewhere down the line or two. But we're working towards playing in March and in April, in November and December.
Yeah, UConn is going to be deep. And we saw, man, like they were small last year. Dana Alfie is the real deal, double-double. She's finally healthy, playing her first game. And Sarah Strong is a monster as well at the 4, bringing very good versatility, can shoot it, can put it on the floor. They're still waiting to get AZ Fudd back. Like, this team at full strength, UConn, in my opinion, is the second best team in the nation. SoCal still waiting for the real Talia Von Ohoffen to show up, but they will be fine. But yeah, UConn, the experience, the chemistry already established. If they can stay healthy, which has been a big if the last several seasons, but if they can stay healthy, they are going to be extremely dangerous, and they have the bigs to match up with South Carolina as well as the guards. Definitely. I definitely think UConn is the biggest challenger. All right. Let's see. I'm going to put another poll up. Let's see. Let's get another spicy poll, y'all. Y'all, let's get another spicy poll up. Who we're gonna say who? And I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if South Carolina loses the game. Their non-conference schedule is absolutely nuts. They still got to play UConn. They still got to play SoCal and Juju and them. They still got to play Iowa State. They're playing. They still have to play Texas twice. They still have to see Oklahoma and Reagan Beers. They still got to see LSU. Like, South Carolina definitely has one of the toughest schedules in the entire country, for sure. So don't be shocked if they do drop a couple. Who is biggest threat to beat? Who is the biggest threat to beat South Carolina? In y'all's opinion, holler at me in the comments. I got a poll cooking, my people. I got a poll cooking for you. Give me one moment. I got a spicy poll coming up. Yo, South Carolina's schedule is insane. Telling y'all right now, they are going to be beyond battle tested. They might have to find different ways to win, though. They do have a deep backcourt. They got enough perimeter scoring. Notre Dame is my dark horse to win the championship. I think UCLA is overrated personally, but I'm gonna let them live. I'm gonna let them live, but I think UCLA is overrated. They're talented though. Tamia Gardner's a dog. Janiah Barker, like they boosted that front court, but I think they're a little overrated. But y'all, let me know who is the biggest threat to take down UConn. I'm telling you right now, man. Kate Coball, the 5-star freshman, the center, playing for Notre Dame. Notre Dame was extremely small. Didn't have a true post last year. They got Coball who's out there blocking shots, anchoring the paint on both ends, a capable finisher around the rim, a pretty good rebounder, big body. There is no Aaliyah Boston on this team. There is no Camila Cardoso right now. So they're having to find different ways to win. Today they rely on their guards to get it done in the perimeter game. Transition looked really well. Defense looked really well for the most part, man. They were forcing turnovers, pressuring that basketball, and it is not easy, nor will it always be pretty when you win in 40 straight games. You find a way to win though, and the Gamecocks found a way to win in a neutral site game in Charlotte. It was a great atmosphere, great crowd. Give me y'all's biggest takeaways from the game though. I think what we saw is definitely a paint presence by committee. They dominated the paint scoring 56 points in the paint. Great touches. They were very selfless with the basketball, moving the basketball. I like how this group plays fast. They have to work on the quarter court offense and getting more sets set up. I think in the second half we saw NC State make that run and take the lead for a moment, and then South Carolina started getting pounding that paint, pounding the ball inside, using their size, and that's been where South Carolina's always been at their best, is pounding the paint. But it's gonna come a point though where 18 minutes is not enough for Malaysia Fulwali. When they really got out in transition and ran, that's when they really, really took off and got a double-digit lead. They're good in transition. They have athletic bigs that can really get up and down the floor. It's just those sets in the quarter court offense, where they're really not getting any type of love. To be honest, like those paint touches where they're dumping it off and trying to go back to the basket and get a bucket, it's not working at all. None of their bigs really have a go-to move, and there was a lot of missed layups. But in transition, they look really good, and if they can keep playing defense and forcing turnovers and converting those turnovers to buckets on the other end, they'll be fine. This was a good test, though. A lot of teams are not playing top 10 teams in the second game. This was a bold test. Staley has never been one. South Carolina's never been one to duck no smoke. None of them, they don't have a big that commands a double team. They're having to do it by committee this year, to be honest with y'all. There's no, alpha in that post that's demanding the ball and commanding attention. It's going to have to be Sanaya Fagan. It's going to have to be Chloe Kitts. It's going to have to be Ashton Watkins. Maybe, they get Adele Tack in there. It's going to have to be Joyce Edwards, like Sakima Walker. We didn't really see Miriam Dowder. It's going to have to be a committee. They've got a lot of bigs. None of them are elite right now. Somebody's got to step up and be that number one option and be that force and be that low block anchor, that paint anchor on both ends. But we don't know yet. We don't know yet. It's going to have to be by committee.